We are riding along on the Meelod DK200 DM. This is a very powerful dual 1,000-watt motor e-bike. 1,000 watts up front and 1,000 watts in the rear. This is a fat tire moped style e-bike that you can get for $899. That blows my mind. I don't have the exact weight on this model in front of me right now, but the previous model, the DK200, weighed 72 pounds. This one has a bigger battery and the addition of the extra 1,000-watt motor up front, so I'm gonna guess that it weighs more than that. I'll put the exact weight on the screen right now. My point is, I didn't want to lug this into my van and lug it around and take it to trails, so I'm just doing a ride out here in the country today to see what she's got. So far the ride is nice. These fat tires really do a great job of absorbing all the bumps and dips in the road, and it's pretty fun to ride so far. It's got some nice acceleration and nice pickup. When you hit the throttle, it takes off. It wants to go. This is a going bike, not a stopping bike. All right, there are 3 riding modes for this bike, and I've been riding along in the first mode up to this point. The first mode is CUR, which puts power to the rear wheel only. If you hold the M button and the plus button at the same time, it puts it up into max mode, and that is rear wheel and front wheel combined. And the last mode is AVG, which is front wheel only. I'm going to continue my test now for acceleration and hill climbing, and I'm going to do that in max mode. So I don't know if you can tell here or not. I don't know if the fisheye from the camera does this justice, but this hill right here is the reason I wanted to come out here today. This is one hell of a steep hill. And when I do this on a bicycle, I've got to stand in the saddle to get up this hill. So as soon as traffic clears out, I'm going to put this thing to the real test, and we're going to see what she's got. So here we go. This is in max mode, and it looks like I'm climbing this hill better than this guy in this truck is. He's really taking his sweet ass time. Yeah, right to the top, no problem. Okay, so it's going to be difficult to find a stretch of straightaway where I can do a real test, just because of the area that I'm at today. I do have a little bit of a stretch here. I've got the bike in max mode. That's power going to both wheels. We're going to try this out and see how fast we can get up to max speed. Here we go. Looks like we got up to just under 30 miles per hour, and once we went over the hill, it did peak over 30. So we'll do a walk around of the bike here. This bike was pretty easy to put together, but it was more complicated than a standard e-bike that's like a mountain bike style or a cruiser style bike, just because there's extra weight involved and extra parts. So for example, because the front wheel is so heavy, being a big fat tire bike like this, and having a hub motor up front, there are extra pieces to clip this in and hold it down, and you want to make sure that you take your time and put everything together right on this, because you don't want something this heavy and this fast flying apart on you. They're 20 by 4-inch tires, but they are pretty loud, so especially with these metal fenders going down the road at top speed, they do whir and make quite a bit of noise. We've got our 1,000-watt hub motor up front. We've got hydraulic disc brakes both front and rear, and they do a great job of stopping the bike. It's very smooth and very powerful when it comes to stopping the bike. Got this nice headlight up front. BMX style handlebars. The grips are not comfort grips, but they're not bad. They're pretty comfortable. We've got a standard control screen here, and I actually always do prefer this kind of screen over the big, gaudy, ugly, colorful screens. I just like these screens because they're easy to see. They tell me everything that I need to know, and I can see what's going on with them. Simplicity for the win. Brake levers are strong and well made. This is what kind of cracks me up about this bike. You've got this big fat tire moped style bike. You don't have a horn. I legit love that it's just got this little bell, and the irony of it just kind of cracks me up. We've got a twist throttle. Ignore this piece here. This is a thumb throttle that I made myself. I prefer a thumb throttle, and this bike doesn't come with one, so yeah, that doesn't come with the bike. I made that. Here we've got our 48 volt 20 amp hour battery, and we've got a spot to mount some more stuff here. This would be a nice spot to put some luggage or maybe even a second battery. I don't know if that's an option or not. Around back, again, we've got hydraulic disc brakes, and we've got our 1000-watt motor in the back as well. And we got metal fenders and a tail light and brake light. To turn the headlight on, you hold the plus button on the screen. And there's our headlight. There's our tail light, and I'll try to hold this back here. And if you pull on the brake levers, the lights do flash to indicate that you're stopping. The drive system is single speed, and I prefer that on an e-bike. I don't need a bunch of gears, especially on a bike like this. I would prefer not to pedal it at all, as heavy as this thing is, so you do have that option, but this is something that you're just going to want to be mindful of your battery and not run out. Doing a little bit of off-roading here, and honestly the bike is a lot more fun to ride on terrain like this than it is out on the road. This is not a bike that's made for pavement, and on this kind of setup it's a lot of fun. So I wouldn't take it on a straight up mountain bike trail, but on gravel and grass the bike is fantastic, and it's got that awesome hill climbing power to make it even more fun. My only real complaint about the bike is that it sits low and I can't get a lot of pedal stroke on it. I'm 5'10" and 30-inch inseam. I don't really consider myself a tall guy by any means, but I really can't get the pedal stroke that I would like to get, and I feel a bit scrunched on this bike. So if you're like, you know, 5'7" or under, 5'6", you're gonna have a really good time riding this thing. But if you're shorter than that, you're gonna have a hard time reaching the ground, because the seat does set high off the ground, but it doesn't set far away from the pedals. So keep that in mind. My final thoughts on the Meelod DK200DM. I think the bike is a heck of a lot of fun. It's got a lot of power for hill climbing, and it has these big fat tires for riding in gravel and grass, and if you're going to ride it that way, you're going to have a lot of fun. Also, with riding it on gravel and grass, you're not going to be riding it on long road hauls like I did, so you're going to get a lot better battery life than I did out of this trip. So if this is the bike for you, check out my link in the description. But that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.